Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Mad Tinkerer Gaming with me, your host, Mad Tinkerer. Now, yesterday I put something out there that was hopefully helpful for my own alliance and maybe some of yours. Now, I'm not in a top 100 alliance, and I understand that. There are a lot of people out there putting out content for the top 100 players, the hardcore guys that are always playing, like Casino and Valley Flying and OMG. They're always putting out content that's based on people who just, well, we consider them whales or at least big dolphins, and they spend money and they get to build up these massive teams that we just kind of dream about. But I'm in a grinding alliance, and I know, like most people out there, if you're in a grinding alliance, it takes a long time to build up your characters. And a lot of people are, getting burnt out because they just buy all the stuff and then they don't have anything to farm or really do. And, it's bad when you are so high-strung that you want to be in the top part that you're willing to do anything to get there and spend all that money. And I mean, it's good, I guess, if you have it, but like me, I really don't. So when you're grinding, you want to focus on good, solid characters and good teams. Well, today I'm going to go over what some of my alliance mates and I feel like are really good, solid characters. Now, we compiled a little list between some of them and myself as to who we think is just super characters. But I know those lists are out there with all the legendaries in them, so this one's one without legendaries. So it's the top 10 legendary characters, right? That are out there, right? They're just way above board. Well, we wanted to give you a top 10 list of non-legendaries. And I know technically Ultron isn't a legendary, he's a raid reward, but we included him in that. So this isn't going to have Ultron or any of the other big guys in it. This is just characters that are in the game that, they're not legendary. You didn't have to do anything super special to get them. Some of them are only purchasable right now. They're not farmable, which is a shame because there are a lot of things out now that, should be farmable and aren't. Everybody's number one pick in my alliance was Captain Marvel. She is hands down a beast. So when we're going through here, and I'll see if I can find her here for y'all real quick. There she is. Now, mine's not anywhere near as powerful as some because, well, I'm only at 5 stars and 4. But she's already sitting at 36,000. I've only got her 6664. And this one right here, the higher, further, faster, is one that everybody says you should sink extra T4 abilities into. Captain Marvel is wonderful. She's super strong. She can clear out a lot of teams just by herself, and she's a good punch-up. She's great to be used in Kree teams, and she's great to be used in brawlers. So, I mean, she's just super strong. The second character that most of us agreed on that's just an essential character is Minerva. Let me find her here. Here she is. Now, she is a healer, just crazy healer. Now, none of these T7s, the T4 abilities, like level 7 here, none of them are necessary for her. She can run 6664 and just be super effective. I just happened to put a couple extra here where I wanted, and I didn't really want to put it in bioweapon. I kind of wanted to put it in the genetic reconstruction for when she brings somebody back, but I hit the wrong button. So genetic reconstruction is probably something better for when you're bringing a character back, because that's what she used for, is revive. But this mass phlebotomy, something I like too. I will probably eventually go all 7775 on her, just because I think she's a really good healer. It's hard to get her. She is non-farmable as of right now. Same with Captain Marvel. They're not farmable. You have to pay to purchase them or get lucky and pull them out of orbs. Now, they are found in some orbs, so good luck. Right now, she's only 4 stars, 3 reds. I've seen a lot of people pull like 6 or 7 of them, and they just have more money than me, I guess, to spend on her. But she's still a solid character. And mine is at level 75. She's tier 13. The next one that I liked, and he's not rated as the best tank in the game because of team pairing. If you rate them currently, like Colossus is the #1 tank in the game. By the time you view this, he might not be. But in my opinion, I think Juggernaut is used more. He's used in all kinds of different things. Brotherhood, he can hold his own. He has a self-rejuvenation. Right now, mine's at level 72. He's tier 13. I've got him at 7 stars, 5 red stars, so he's a pretty strong character right now. The Overwhelming Blow is really good. On the Juggernaut's really good. I just did this because when you hit Overwhelming Blow, it always gains an ability energy, which is really good for him. It probably is not needed, but I like gaining that energy for him. It gets him to where he can do a movable object and crushing charge a lot faster, and his AoE is huge. I would probably actually like to upgrade it someday, but there are other things that I need to put it into. But like I'm saying, in my opinion, Juggernaut is probably one of the best tanks in the game, at least #2. I know power-wise he's probably below Colossus, but if you don't have Phoenix, and Magneto's a lot easier to get than Phoenix, Mag's Juggernaut combination is probably the second best tank and a legendary combo that you can find, other than Colossus and Phoenix. Alright, #4 on our list is somebody that I believe everybody just absolutely despises right now. Not because he's super strong by himself. I mean, he's not very good in a whole lot of formats, but there is one that he has changed the face of. That's Coulson. We put him at #4 because, well, he's made it to where you have to build up an X-Men team or a super-powered Fantastic Four or a super-powered AIM group to go in and try to fight. I guess it's what, Fury, Coulson, Shield. Supernatural is another team that can kill them very well, but you have to have at least 2 of those because now we've got Asgardians to worry about. So between Asgardians and Fury, Coulson, Shield, you have to have at least 2 super teams to start winning in war. He's changed the face of war just by adding him in. Where before Fury Shield was annoying, Coulson Shield is just crazy. Mine is at 5 stars, 2 red stars. I've got him at 6664. I'm currently not building him up much more because I've got other teams that I'm trying to push in advance to plan for upcoming things like Black Bolt coming out and the DD3, which is Dark Dimensions 3 for those of you who don't play the game but are just wanting to watch my stuff. So he was my #4. My #5 pick is the other big tank in the game. Now, a lot of you are like, well, if I don't have Phoenix, he's not that great. But he actually still is with the rest of the X-Men, and that's Colossus. Now, he's not farmable. None of these guys are farmable right now. You can't. There's not a node. I wish Fox Next would go ahead and open up those extra nodes from like 80 to 85 and just put some of these characters in them, but they have yet to do so. But this guy, it's way overdue for people like him and Juggernaut and Minerva. There are so many teams that have come out after these guys. There's like 6, 7, maybe 8 teams that have come out after them, and none of these have been made farmable. But they're still top tier in the game, so Fox Next is holding on to them like it's a money lifeline. You can't blame them for it, but it is what it is. You want this guy right here, you're going to have to pay for him. I've only got him at 3 stars, 3 red stars. I can't afford to spend the money on him. Every time he pops up, it's like a $30 buy or a $45 buy or something like that. And it's ridiculous because it's like 45 shards or 50 shards, and once you start getting past 3 stars, you're going to have to purchase 2 of them to even make a dent in leveling him. So it's not worth it to me, monetary-wise, which is why I've got him further down on the list than Juggernaut, because he's a money sink. The Juggernaut is at least Actually, the Juggernaut is farmable. That's the only one so far on the list that is. You can get him, I believe, in one of the actual shops. Let me see if I can find it here. I'll do a quick look here. I know he's in the shops. I just don't know which one. He's in the arena store. So the Juggernaut is farmable. The only one so far on the list that is, you can find him in the arena store. Just do arenas every day and spend 500 arena points on him, and boom, eventually you'll have a really strong tank in the Juggernaut. Now, number 6 from my list, and he's probably going to fall off a little bit once Dark Dimensions 3 comes out, and once Black Bolt and all of them come out. But this guy is somebody that I've just really enjoyed, and there are a lot of these guys on my list because they're super useful. They are part of the BKT team, which, if you don't know what that is, that's Best Kree team, and it's only got Minerva on it because she's a resource, and they're falling off a little bit. I still rank them relatively high because if you're in a grinding guild, not like a top tier guild, not oh, I'm in the top 100, I'm trying to run U7 100% every day, I'm just trying to get by, you're going to want to build BKT because it gets you Ultima 6, it can get you through DD2, and it's just a solid build. But number 6 for all of us turned out to be this guy right here, Rocket Raccoon. Now, his damage is just unbelievable. His AoE, when paired with Groot, just makes him almost unstoppable. He will just literally blow everything away in U6. You can just walk through Ultima 6 without worry. Now, when you get into running Dark Dimension 2, he's not as powerful, but if you pair him up right with Minerva and Thanos and Groot and stick Star-Lord in him to just feed him energy, he can do his AoE like almost every turn. So he's wiping people down a whole lot. Now, you don't have to have Rocket Rifle maxed out. Normally just maximum damage and Expert Tinker. And the only reason I did this was because it gives you a chance to apply offense up to 2 allies, which is really strong when you're out there. And maximum damage is for his AoE. So, I mean, he gets a big boost if Groot's his ally. He's going to be doing 360% damage just by doing his AoE over and over and over again to every guy out there on the field, and his damage is ridiculous. So he is definitely worth investing. Mine's at level 75, 7 stars, 4 red stars. I consider my Rocket pretty average for a grinding group because everybody's going to grind them so that they can get Star-Lord and they can run Ultima 6. So he's a really inspirational tune. Plus, one of my fan favorites is Rocket and Groot combinations, so they're really good. Now, my number 7 is another guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot. Groot is amazing. You don't have to do anything. 6664 is great. You're not really using all this stuff for healing, so life spores doesn't have to be done. Overgrowth is just to put up your indestructible. I mean, that's all it's there for. It's giving people death proof. Apply 2 death proof to self up at this level, and death proof to all of your allies. That's what he's used for BKT. He puts that up, and then afterwards he's got a decent crushing blow. I am Groot. You might want to do if you want to actually add a extra revive. And to make sure he slows anybody that attacks him. But like I said, they're not necessary. You can just leave him at 6665. Mine's at 73. He's my next step up to go to 75, and then I'm going to work on building BKT towards tier 14. But number 7 was Groot because he's really good and he's needed in BKT. There are others that are needed more, but they're legendaries, so we're not going to deal with that right now. The next one on the list is another part of BKT, and he is not a legendary guy, which is really surprising. But he came out and they had a run for him. His name is Thanos. That's right. the big guy himself, the big purple, green, butt-chinned guy. I feel good for saying that. I'm not monetized. I don't have enough followers to do that. But Thanos is used because of this right down here. I mean, his brutal assault is good. It makes him an awesome tank. His energy bomb is his heal, so putting that up there, extra damage, plus he gets 100% drain. So anytime he deals the damage, he's gaining that much life right back. When you're running Dark Dimensions 2, that's amazing. He just goes from like nearly no health to full by using that. But the big kick is this Titan Eternal. On death of an enemy, always generate 2 ability energy for self or any adjacent cosmic ally. So if you place him correctly, he's going to be able to give energy to Minerva, or energy to Rocket Raccoon, or even energy to Star-Lord, who can feed energy back into other people. But he is amazing as a tank with BKT. And a lot of people are like, well, it seems like you just like BKT on this list. Yes, I do. Because if you're in a grinding guild, a grinding alliance, and you are not playing in the top 10% all the time, if you're just trying to make it through and play for enjoyment's sake, BKT is probably, in my opinion, a top 5 team minimum. And you're getting so much benefit out of it that most of these characters deserve to be there. They're what you've used to progress yourself that far, and they're what other people can use to progress themselves up and play catch up. So they have that use factor in them. Now, that was our number 8. Number 9 is a guy that's a little less strong, in my opinion, but he can be used as a substitute, and that is the Vision. The Vision is a super powerful character. He is farmable. So is Rocket and Groot. Thanos, I don't believe is farmable right now. You just have to get lucky and pull him. But I mean, there were raids based on having him in there. It'd be nice to see one of them pop back up so people could run raids to try and get extra credits for him. But we'll see what Fox next does. They've pushed out a whole lot of new characters, so we may never get to go back to a Thanos raid. But Vision here can be a good substitute if you don't have Thanos. He is farmable. He's good in BKT. He adds to the tech abilities of Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Minerva. Or not Groot, but Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, and Minerva. And he has a pretty good AoE, strong defense. So he's worth it. Plus his dive bomb, if you do 7-star this one out, it's pretty solid. It's good. Now, a lot of people don't want to put that one out. They do Heavy Hitter, because Heavy Hitter is apply bleed to tech enemies. And there are a lot of tech enemies out there right now. Even if you're just using it in Blitz or Arena or whatever, you're going to run into Rocket Raccoons. You're going to run into Minervas. And this Heavy Hitter, it does some serious damage to them. Now, number 10 for me is a key part of what I feel is one of the stronger teams out there once it's built up. And a lot of people are kind of iffy about the team. They don't think it holds its own very well with the super high teams. But I'm going to go with Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel makes those teams work. She has this fangirl ability down here. Gain assist on each hero brawler ally's turn. Chance to grant an assist now to a hero brawler. This is one that you want to boost up there. This ability makes her one of the more key essential parts to a brawler team. And I think with her also being an Inhuman and Black Bolt coming out soon, she's going to get used in that kind of a department. I mean, you've got Quake, her, Yo-Yo, and Black Bolt that will be coming out soon. They're all 4 Inhumans. I still see her being stronger right now as a brawler. You pair her up with Captain Marvel, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's really good. Now, some of the other guys that we wanted to give honorable mentions to, because that was our list of 10, are people that are just now becoming popular, And it's because they are being used in Ultima 7. So if you are in one of those big guilds that are trying to run Ultima 7 30% or 60% or 100%, which means we give it a shot every month because we're progressively getting bigger, but we're not there yet. So it's still difficult for us. But here are some key people that we thought we would let you know about. Scientist Supreme. She is an amazing character. She's farmable. She's being used a lot in Ultima 7. She's also not a legendary. Her recursion ability, the fact that she's a tech character, you pair her up with Ultron, and she does amazing. It's like her and Minerva and Ultron, and then you build around that. Another one worth mentioning is Mr. Sinister. I believe Mr. Sinister is going to be a new future healer kind of guy, plus his cloning ability is insane. I believe he's going to end up being way up in the top. Another guy that's being used a lot in U7, Falcon. Normally you're seeing people run Minerva, and they're going to run Scientist Supreme, and then they're pairing Falcon with Shuri. Now, Shuri's a moot point. She's a legendary, but right here, Falcon, he's a farmable guy. Mine is not done yet. I mean, I haven't even started really working on him. He is part of Power Armor, so is Vision, which, helps you build Power Armor up. Characters you could exploit very easily. Some other characters that I feel are really strong is Ronan. Ronan isn't really given a lot of due, but he's a key essential piece. I mean, he's not the strongest piece because you're always pairing him up with somebody like Minerva or Captain Marvel. But when you have Minerva and Captain Marvel in there already, and they're Kree, why not have Ronan get pumped up and be able to do the things you want him to do? He generates characters. He applies interrupts. He's a solid character, and he ranks pretty high in the charts. And the last tune I want to talk about is American Chavez. Now, the reason I'm putting her up here is, once again, you have Captain Marvel and you have Miss Marvel, two really key pieces in there. And when you have two strong key pieces, another one normally should be given a good consideration in there. And American Chavez down here, this shooting star ability, when you get this maxed out, she's doing insane amounts of damage for people. I've got to her a bit late. I've watched other videos about how much damage output she has, and it's phenomenal what she does. So with Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel up in our top 10, this one is one that we thought was an honorable mention. She also has other abilities that are really good and synergetic with brawlers. So one to build up if you're really wanting to put a brawlers team together. And she has great synergy. She's not very good at any other thing, but she is good for that. Now, with all that said, that was our list of top 10s and our honorable mentions. They're just personal preferences for our alliance. And like I said, we're a grinding alliance. We're not a top alliance. We're not elite. We don't have a lot of whales. So this is just for people who play the game to play the game and enjoy it. And I hope that you all take some of this information and maybe it helps you build a few key teams that you want to try out, or just find some good solid characters if you're just struggling to find good solid characters. So, as always, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up, click that subscription so that you can join my crew here and enjoy my videos, and get that little bell icon so that you can get notifications when I do post up new stuff. I'm not super consistent yet. I'm trying to get into a good swing, but you'll probably get a video or two a week. That's my goal. And until next time, I'll see you. Goodbye.